Who's Ming? It's an interesting thing. Well, Ming actually didn't exist because originally it's started with just Rebecca, and I was the one who actually wanted the product, and it was through a donation that we actually got involved. And when we ran out of that product, we actually signed up to get more because it was a free account, and from there it actually went on. Ming didn't exist. I'll be honest with you, till literally about at least 2 years and a bit, and then Ming appeared in Atomy. But during that time, I gotta say, Ming was like the little back office for Rebecca. Currently, we are Royal Master in the Royal Leaders Club. We started Atomy in about 2015. I'm originally not from Canada, born in Hong Kong. Although I was born in Hong Kong, I actually lived mostly in Macau. As you know, Macau back then was governed by the Portuguese, so it was a gambling city. So it's not the safest place to be around, and that's why I think my parents decided to try to leave Macau and go to a better place. And that's why we ended up in Canada. Immigrated into Canada in the 1970s, and lived there for pretty much 40 years. Never studied English before, and jumping right into a regular school was very difficult. But learning the language, if you're determined, I tell you this, you will learn it fast. Yeah, so basically, I think I adopted to the Canadian culture probably just within a year. So it was pretty fast. And then pretty much did what most Canadian did, go to school, worked, go to university, and, start a family. Like typical any person in this world, um, me and Rebecca, we started with nothing. Um, we actually started with negative 17,000. That's how we started. And from there, we grew ourselves, worked very hard. In 10 years, we became okay. I would say from being nothing to be middle class. And from there, after that, everything starts taking off because you've mastered certain things in your life. So for me, I've been in the real estate industry for now 33 years. I specialize in investments, and I also used to do construction, but because of a lot of injuries, I kind of have to stop. And we always dabble in many different things, even in the insurance industry. So I also had a company that's insurance. All those things doesn't factor in what this world will change to, and things always change. And if you just keep doing the same thing over and over again, I tell you this, you're putting yourself at risk. So it's definitely always you have to keep your mind a little bit more open and adapt to the world changing. I've always kept my eyes very open for many different things. And I think my past experience have really helped us move forward, especially in this company, because that's where all my skills and wisdom and learning came in place. So it, helped us move forward from becoming just a consumer to becoming, nowadays, I guess, pretty recognized leaders here in the Atomy world. Yeah.
And did you have any preconceptions of network marketing and evidence before you joined? And if you did, how did the Atomy business change your mind on that?
Well, I'll tell you this. I got exposed to direct selling back when I was 18, which is, I won't say exactly how long ago that was because it's a long time. And ever since 18 to, I guess, joining Atomy, during that whole long time, I've never had interest in it. I actually am scared of it. And I really don't like the fact that you have to deal with so many people. And also, you have to learn to speak. And also, you have to constantly push. Those things were all negative to me. So that's why I've always ran away. If someone tells me they want to talk to me or invite me to some info session, I will always say, please just tell me what it is. And after they tell me, I'll have to pass on it. So actually, I'm quite surprised I'm actually sitting here in front of you all. because I'm not the typical person who actually wanted to be like a guest speaker or who wants to talk about these things or even enter this type of industry because it is one of the type of industry that's very feared and scared by many people because many people have bad experience, including myself. And actually, I still remember I said to myself that I would never join any MLM. And I'm very surprised. And actually, a lot of my friends, they're very surprised that I'm here. So I think that definitely this is something that's a very eye opener for myself. And I think we should really say never, because things change in life. Like anyone that's raised in, I would say, this current modern society, we tend to be very conditioned. And also being, going to school and being brought up in this type of environment, we tend to be very conditioned on what we learn or what we get influenced. And definitely, I would say, especially like most of us, Korean products, we know now it's actually very popular because of how it's grown. But when we joined back then, it's like a surface, and being the products are from Korea and it's a Korean company, there's definitely some stigma. But like anything in life, I mean, something that starts in the beginning, you know, nobody expects it to be the best until later. And as I see Atomy has grown now into such a very developed company that's in so many countries, literally over 26 countries already. And there's another 56 in the global. So I think definitely this company, a lot of people are actually watching it now.
Did you believe in the product since the beginning?
Well, I mean, a lot of time people ask about that specific product, especially this health supplement. This is actually one of our first product from our company, and it's our chairman's original story. And even when I still remember when I first heard about it, it's not that I wouldn't believe it. I think for me, I would still like to watch the show. So definitely, like most of us, we need a lot of proof. And I think that's our current society. We tend to need a lot more validation, especially about a certain product. So like for myself, I didn't try it for the longest time. And like watching the show, I needed to hear people's review about it before I would even consider it. And lo and behold, because I went and attended many seminars for a different purpose, and I bumped into many, many people that's in the audience sitting beside me, and they tried the product, and they tell me their amazing story. But even when someone tells you their amazing story, especially nowadays, people still don't believe you. So validating is a totally different issue. And I had to actually go through it myself because when you actually take the product yourself, that's when you actually know whether it works or not. And I think that's something that's very important. If you just say something and you actually never even tried it, then there's no, like I said, the validation about it. And that's why, like I gotta say, with Hemohim, it's a product that is definitely worth giving it a shot. Just like anything in life, if you don't try it, you will never know.
What was your personal experience with Hemo? What made you change your mind on it?
I had personal health issue, like typical for most middle-aged men. Usually at that age, you will have your typical, diabetes problem, high blood pressure, high cholesterol. Like most men, we eat too much meat and eat too much good food that's outside. So that's a given. And like most of us, there's only two choices in life, whether you go natural or not natural. And, because I have a lot of good friends from university who went into the medical field, and also even my own family doctor, they told me, if you choose not to, you have to do the alternative, meaning do a lot more exercise, eating properly, and maybe look for some health supplement or, in the herb industry. And, I wanted to stay away from the typical normal way of dealing with those issues. So, that's when I decided to really look into Hemohim. Like most people, when you reach a certain stage where you really need it, or it's a critical stage, you will consider trying it. And that's why it took me a while too, watching the product and even watching other people taking it. I was still very negative in my head about taking it, and it took me a while. But when I did make that determination, it really helped me because I never tried much products, and when I take this one, I only took this product. So really, the effect in my body really helped. I would never put myself as even a category of a good leader. I would definitely say I would put myself as a leader that's always in learning. From beginning to end, I don't think we can ever say that we fully master anything, especially with the growing of our Atomy company and also the growing of our Atomy members. So many new countries opening where there's different nationality, different people, they're so different. So we have to learn to adopt to it. So if you want to say it as a good leader, I would say a good leader will always have to continue to learn. So for me, I definitely say that I still have a lot to learn in Atomy. Yeah. I didn't enter Atomy when I was young. And while entering into Atomy, like most of us being in, I guess, the adulthood and being in the business world or the society, we tend to be very conditioned. So it's very hard for us to break away from that. And I think that's one of the biggest things that I had to learn while walking this Atomy journey, where I needed to adjust myself and really actually a lot of times listen to my members. Because if I instill what I think, I might not understand what that member is going through. And I think that's one of the most important thing that I learned, and which I also try to teach a lot of my leaders about, that they need to be a good listener in Atomy. And definitely, I think that's one of the most important criteria and skill that I would suggest to most leaders. You need to be very understanding. Because a lot of times, I think because we're faced with a lot of outside factors that affect us, and we tend to let that take over. And that's why we sometimes may not say the right thing, or our actions is not the right action, and it causes an adverse effect, especially with your members or your leaders. And definitely that's why I suggest to a lot of people is when it comes to being a good leader, it's not a simple task. Running a company, you're easier because you have a limited amount of employees. But in Atomy, I tell you, you cannot even expect how big your empire can become. And being a good leader to such a mass amount of people, wow, it's something that's totally, any wrong thing you say, it can trickle down all the way down through your members, and it can affect them. So that's why I have to say this to, especially being a good leader, you have to be a very good listener, you have to be very patient, and please follow the company motto. That's one of the biggest secrets that I can pass to many of the people who want to become a good leader in Atomy. I think one tip I can pass to, I think, a lot of the people who are doing the Atomy business. When you face the most difficult times in your life, like anything, I tell you, the person that you're battling is not the person you think caused the problem or anything else. I tell you this, the person that you're facing is yourself. When in the morning when you wake up and you look in the mirror, that's actually your enemy. That's the person that can take you down. That's the person that's going to stop you moving forward. To me, I always believe there's someone watching us all, and we have to pass that test. And I know every morning when I wake up, especially my phone has already like 1 billion messages, and the person that you're facing is not all those people who's messaging you. It's the person that you're staring in the mirror. Where do you make that determination to continue to move forward and surpass whatever difficulty that's going to arise? That's the person that you have to face. So my best tip to everyone is, please look at that person and please tell that person, instead of battling you, let's just move forward together and let's get to the finish line. And if you can say that every morning to that person, I guarantee you will reach the finish line.
If you could give like an advice to a young version of yourself, what advice would you give?
For sure, as a young person, if I gave it to myself back when I was 18, I would say, join this company. Although it's in the same category with all the other company, some of them are not so good. But, you know, sometimes you have to open your eyes and open your ears, and you have to go follow your heart and just listen to it. And definitely as a young person, if I can roll back the clock, if I was 18 and I got introduced to this company called Atomy, I would definitely say join it, because there's nothing negative about it. It's free. The account's free, and you can share it, and that's all it takes. All the learning is free. You don't even have to pay for anything, and there's tons of opportunity to learn. I've never seen such great support in this company or in any other company. And that's why as I move forward in Atomy, I do feel that if somebody can roll back the clock for themselves and they want something to change in their life, I would definitely suggest Atomy to them. And to tell you the truth, it's never too late. Whether you can go back in time or whether you can go in the future, we're living right now in the present. So if you can enjoy it and it's free, why not take the chance?
What's the biggest way that Atomy has changed your life, would you say?
It's literally changed my whole life. I'm actually the type of person who like to stay in the hotel room and just be very reserved and very quiet. I've never done public speaking. I'm usually maybe just a one-on-one or a very, very minute group, less than 5 people. That's why sometimes I don't understand what I'm doing here. And many times I'm given the opportunity to speak in a very large crowd. And a lot of people ask me, they said, where did you learn to speak like that? And you know, Atomy, I never practiced. I actually don't even like to practice or write out a script. And actually most of the seminars I did for many of the countries, those all just came from my heart at that one moment. I don't write anything. You know, my Rebecca, she's actually told me that I have to practice and read and write. But I told her, I go, you know, I'm not all there yet with Atomy. So, you know, a lot of times I feel it's very hard for me to start writing. And I can tell you this, I can contest to this, that because I've always had problem writing the life scenario. I still remember it took me over 2.5 years to finish my first life scenario. Do you guys know why? Because I'm very confused inside. You know, although sometimes we feel we know what we want, but when it comes to writing it down, my mind went blank. And I don't know why, I just couldn't write it for the longest time, even though they told me you don't have to write about Atomy, but I just couldn't do it. I don't know why. And I was a failure in the life scenario. But the amazing thing is, the day that I was able to complete the life scenario, things start changing. Yeah. And I definitely gotta say this, writing is very important. I know nowadays people don't write anymore. Everything's on your handphone, so you just type. But there's something different about when you start writing. When you start writing, it's almost like it triggers your mind. First, it starts with your eyes. Your eyes become receptive of how you're writing. Even the style, even your feelings, the strokes, everything, there's a meaning to it. And that's why when you're doing that, when you're writing it, as our chairman says, you're embedding something. You're literally writing out your life. And by writing it out, it will happen. I do believe that. And that's why when I did complete my first life scenario, you wouldn't believe how happy I was. Because, you know, it was very hard for me to fail in writing a life scenario because I thought that was the easiest thing to do. But it's not easy if your mind's not there and your heart wasn't there. But I'm so happy that I was able to complete it. And from then on, I do teach life scenario to people because as a tough student in life scenario, I failed. And 2.5 years later, I was able to complete it. And after completing it, many of the things in my life scenario appeared and got fulfilled. So I definitely wish you all, please try completing the life scenario. It will definitely add to you and help you. Good luck to you all.